Yes guys, welcome back to episode 2 of the Muscle Mastery series, where I take you through everything: exercise selection, technique, sets, reps, tempo, everything you need to know to build muscle. Today we're covering back. It's been a weak point of mine, so I'm going to teach you all the secrets which I've been implementing into my training to target my back. So if you're in your late teens, early 20s, you want to get wham, you're in the right place. Let's go.
Came out of jail, back to buying food again. My nigga scraps move the same. We like Ryan, you and Ken. All these packs in the base. Fam, I can't afford to catch me a case. Plus they love me, I'm the raps, Vinny Chase.
Right, kicking it off with a lat pullover with the cables. The reason why I'm using 2 ropes as opposed to 1, it's just a more comfortable position for your elbows, your shoulders, and you can activate your lats a lot better because you can keep your elbows closer to your body, right? I usually like to put this on the top cable, then we get maximum stretch as well. In terms of weight, just pick a light weight. We're only doing 2-3 sets just to isolate the lats, fire them up for the next exercise that we're gonna do. But I'm just gonna do a set here, show you the form, walk you through it. So I'm gonna take a few steps back from the machine, stretch forward, and then retract your scapula and squeeze. You should get a very good pinch in your lats if you're doing it properly. Right, so now we've done the lat pullover, isolate the lats, fire them up. Now we're gonna do our first compound movement, which is gonna be this lat pull down machine. If you don't have a machine like this in your gym, just use an underhand straight bar on a normal lat pull down. The reason I want an underhand grip, it just keeps everything tighter, more compact, and you keep your elbows closer to your body, which is gonna activate your lats, which is what we're looking for. Main things I'm looking out for is keeping my scapula retracted, which I spoke about on the lat pullover. It's just pulling your shoulders down. Second thing I want to look out for is keeping my elbows down to my pockets. Your lats going to be activated when your elbows are down by your pockets. What you don't want to do is curl it like this, right? Because I'm getting bicep. I want to pull my elbows down. Third thing I want to look out for, when I'm doing underhand movement, look to the ceiling. That way you're going to get a slight natural arch in your back, which is going to position your lats to be contracted best. If I'm looking down, I'm going to end up using bicep. Whereas if I'm looking up, it's going to be predominantly lats. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go pretty heavy on this movement. Right, this is going to be my first set out of 2 top sets. Then I'm going to drop it for the last one. The real question is, right, when does the pump cover come off? First exercise, second exercise? My answer is whenever there's girls in the gym. Right, in terms of rep ranges for back training, I'm looking at working between 6 and 10 reps. Maybe I'll go up to 12, but I don't really want to go above 12, 14 reps for back training because I just feel my body responds better to higher weight at lower reps. Same for upper body training. You'll see in the following episodes, a lot of the exercises I do, they're just heavy compound lifts, getting the work in, just 1, 2 top sets, and I'll do a back off set as well to really burn it out. But for back, my best shot is 6 to 10 reps, lift as heavy as you can with good form. Something which you need to get good at as well is looking at your physique and analysing the weak points, right? A couple months ago I looked in the mirror and I was like, right, my chest is good, shoulders all right, but my back is just being heavily neglected. Fun fact, I actually didn't train back for the first 2 years of training because my logic was, I can't even see my back when I look in the mirror, so why would I waste my time training it? So I just do like chest 4 times a week and just didn't do back for 2 years. So now I'm paying the price for it and I've got to work on it. So I'm doing back twice a week now. My strategy for growing a lagging muscle group would just be give it more volume and attention than everything else, right? If I've got a really developed chest but a really undeveloped back, then I'd want to do just 1 chest session a week and then 2 heavy back sessions per week. That way you're going to grow it. And also having correct technique, good exercise selection. But yeah, just picking 4, 5 exercises which really work for you and just rinse and repeating them over and over again, day in, day out in the gym. It's going to help you progress with your lagging body parts. Right, so now we're moving on to the main event, barbell row. Let me teach you how to do it quick time. First of all, hand position, just outside shoulder width. Don't want it too close because then you're going to use your bicep. Just outside shoulder width there where knurling starts. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into this nice position where the bar is sitting on my knee, nice bend. And all I'm going to do is row just above my belly button into my abs. A lot of people, they'll row too high. This just ends up being a lot of rear delt bicep. When you're rowing it into your belly button, you're going to get more lats as well. The higher you row it, the more upper back, radialis bicep you're gonna get. Whereas if you're really rowing it into your kind of belly button area, you're gonna get more lat engagement. Alright, my opinion on wrist wraps now, I think they're really overused. You don't really need to use them that much. I only use them on my top sets on a heavy exercise like barbell rows. Stop using wrist wraps when you're doing the lat pull down. You don't need strong grip strength for that. Whereas for barbell row, if I'm not wearing wraps, it's really going to affect how many reps I can do on the movement because my wrists will give out before my back. Whereas on a lat pull down, it's not as likely to happen. For a big heavy set on here, it's going to allow me to take the strain off my wrists and put my focus on my actual back, which I'm trying to work, right? So in this case, doing a heavy barbell row, wrist wraps are probably worth it. But if you're just doing a lat pull down, a pullover, don't use them because in a few months your grip strength will just get left far behind. I know people that were so dependent on wrist wraps and then they try and do an exercise without wrist wraps and they're like, oh, my wrists hurt, or I can't do this, my grip's shit. Stop using them. Just use them on your top sets when they're actually necessary. Right, a little tip I have as well when doing this exercise is wrapping your elbows behind your back. What I mean by that is instead of just rowing horizontally like this, you're not going to get the maximum activation on your back. So what I'm going to look to do is really wrap my elbows behind my back. So if you look, I'm going to row and wrap my elbows back, forward and then back. That way I'm engaging all the muscles on my back and not just limiting it to my lats. Stretching all the muscles and then wrapping it around and contracting all the muscles. So if you watch my second set, I'll show you what I mean. Right, so now I'm moving on to a single arm row. This is really good for pinching the lats. Nice row. When I'm setting this up, I'm thinking about getting the sit position as high as possible. That way we're going to keep our elbow low, therefore engaging our lats. Same with this pad. If the pad's all the way forward here and I'm trying to row, I can't even stretch. So you want to move this pad all the way back. So that way I can get a full stretch on my lats. So what I'm going to do is have one hand support me here, feet nice, planted on the floor, and then row. Now I like to do it single arm, so I'm really stretching and squeeze on one side. See, I'm wrapping my elbow back behind my body here. So I'm stretching and then pulling my elbow back. See how it's in this nice position next to my pocket? I'm basically just rowing down to my pocket. That's how you're going to engage your lats. Also, a little quick tip is because it's a unilateral exercise, you don't want to do bang out one set here and then move straight onto the other side. I like to rest for about a minute in between each side because at the end of the day, each side is a separate set. You wouldn't do 2 sets of barbell row back to back, would you? So treat this the same way. Have 30 seconds to 1 minute rest in between each side, and that applies to every unilateral exercise that you'll do. Something that's really important as well when you're training is hydrating properly. A lot of people, they won't drink anything when they're training. I'll go through a bottle like this, 1.5 litres while I'm training, pretty easily. First of all, gets your water intake up for the day. Second of all, it's hydrating your muscles, get better pump, have more energy, be able to focus better while you're doing your session. For example, if you feel sick when you're training or your stomach just feels really full while you're training, it's probably because you're drinking too much at once. What you want to do is sip regularly throughout your session. Just take little sips at the end of every set. That way you're going to keep your energy topped up and you're going to be able to put a lot more effort into your sets. Alright, so now we've done cable pullover, we've done the lat bias, the pull down, we've done barbell rows, and we've done the single arm row. They're my 4 main back exercises, but then I'll do a little bonus exercise, and that's the dumbbell shrug. So, very simple exercise, but a lot of people don't do it. It's going to work your traps, right? Having big traps is one of the most masculine muscle groups, in my opinion. So you just grab a set of dumbbells. Now a lot of people, they'll focus on just shrugging up and then going down like this. What you want to do is really pinch your shoulders as close to your neck as possible. That's how you're going to contract your traps. So I'm going to kind of pinch up, slight bend in the elbow to get that pinch. and then slowly down. And I'm looking at holding the contraction for a couple seconds. Stretching. Stretch down and then pinch up. I'll aim at using a pretty heavy weight on this. And this is one of the few exercises where I use straps as well as the barbell row, because I'm going to try and go relatively heavy. So that's the traps. If you don't know what your traps are, it's this little muscle group sitting on top of your shoulder here. Good set. All right, that is the session complete. I'm going to do biceps now, but I'm doing a separate video just for arms at the end of the series. So I'm going to take you outside and give you my 3 top tips for training back. All right, my top 3 tips for training back. You've just seen me hit a session, walk you through some of my favorite exercises and how I'd lay out a session. Here are my 3 top tips when it comes to growing and training your back. Number 1, retracting your scapula properly, right? A lot of people when they train back, their shoulders will just stay here. Then they get a lot of rear delt, a lot of bicep, but not a lot of back, which is the whole point of training back, right? So what you want to do is retract your scapula. It's simply this movement of moving your shoulder back and pinning your shoulder back. That's called scapular retraction. I'm retracting my scapula and then rowing. That way, my back's always engaged. That's my top tip, number 1, and probably the most important. If you take one thing away from this video when it comes to training back, it's retracting your scapula. It's very important. Second tip I have is pulling through your elbows and just using your hands as hooks, right? A lot of people, they grip the bar too hard. They grip the lat pull down too hard. That way you're using a lot of forearm and a lot of bicep because your arms are tense, right? What you want to do is just use your hand as a hook. Doesn't matter whether you have your thumb over or under, just use your hand as a hook and think about pulling with your elbow. When you pull with your elbow, what's going to happen? You're going to engage your back and it's going to be easier to keep your elbow closer, fixed to your body and pull down, which is what we're looking for when we're engaging our lats, right? When I think about back training as a whole, you really want to focus on your lats. If I'm doing a 4 exercise workout, 3 of those exercises are going to be lat predominant. Then I have that one upper back movement, like a barbell row, like a wide grip row or pull down, which is going to do my upper back. All right, third tip is to lift as heavy as you can with precise form, all right? Your back is a big group of muscles and it can handle a heavier load than your biceps, for example. If you try to go really heavy with your biceps, you're going to blow out your bicep. Whereas with back, it can tolerate that heavy weight. It's actually better for growth if you're using a heavier weight. Too many people, they're using like 7 kg to grow their back. It's not going to happen. You need to put a lot of force, a lot of weight through your back for it to send the signal that it needs to grow, right? I touched on this in yesterday's episode on the leg series. All you need to do when you're in the gym is send the signal to a muscle that it needs to grow, and then you need to go away, recover, get your nutrition in. It's very important that you're just sending that signal and not doing more than you need to. So lift as heavy as you can, keeping the precise form. Lifting heavy doesn't mean put your form to shit. All right, I hope you got something from this video. If you did, make sure you drop a like, subscribe for more videos like this. I'm gonna be posting regularly now. 3 more episodes coming out in this Muscle Mastery series, and I've got loads more content planned for after that. Let me know in the comments what you thought as well, what you want to see me do next, any questions you have, because I'll reply to all my comments and get back to you as quickly as possible. But that's it for this back tutorial, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, and I'll see you in the next one.